In this video, I'll show you 4 common mistakes when it comes to squatting and how to fix them and how the squat should look like. You ready? Let's go. Okay, let's have a look at the first mistake. It's a knees coming in. We see that? Very bad. So the angle of my quads and knees creates something like this. It's a very bad situation for your knees. Never do this. Never allow your knees to come in. I would rather you push them down. So when you're squatting, think about creating the tension here on the floor. So you push, you spread your toes, and this prevents, first of all, collapsing of your arches. So that, as you see in this position, my arches are probably completely collapsed, and I don't want that. So this is the first thing. And the second thing, if you spread the floor with your toes outside, this will create nice tension across your leg and across your body, and your knees will be pushed forward, and that's a much better position for your knees. Another mistake I see all the time is to letting your whole body moving on your toes. So as you can see in this example, all balance is on the toes and the heels are off the floor. And that's not good news, because what happens is create a lot of instability in my squat. And it's basically you won't be able to squat well, and it's your knees are moving. It's not great position. Always keep those heels down. If you have a problem with it, if you cannot do it yet, place something under your heel, some small thing you can. I've got another video which I'll show you at the end of this video, explaining and showing you what the difference makes when I put my heels up. So this was mistake number 2. Let's have a look at the mistake number 3. And now mistake number 3, leaning forward. A lot of lean forward. As you see, this looks almost like a deadlift, not like a squat. So as you see, I'm instead of bending my knees and dropping my hips, I've decided to lean forward. I want to have this angle. My torso for the squat need to stay upright. The taller I am, it's better. This because when I want to put some weight for my body and I want to put the barbell on my body, I won't be able to put the barbell on my shoulders because I would basically face plant. And that's definitely not what I want to do. So when you observe that, the common mistake people do is basically by forgetting about keeping the chest up. You could try to do the squat in front of the wall. So imagine this is the wall, you're coming close to the wall and you try to do squat facing the wall. So you won't be able to lean forward and you'll land a better position. It might take time, obviously, but try to do this fix. Okay, this was the mistake number 3. And now let's have a look at the mistake number 4. This is quite common as well. So this is where I do not keep my back straight. So notice here, I'm squatting well because I bent my knees, I bent my hips. However, my upper back is rounded. I don't want that situation ever. I want to maintain a nice neutral spine. So I want to, my tip here is to keep your chest up, and then think about keeping the chest up, and then keep the shoulder blades together. So when this happens to you or to your client, ask them or ask yourself to pinch the shoulder blades, and this will fix the posture. Let's have a look now how the good squat should look like. Okay, so that's me squatting to the bench. Basically, you squat every day. You squat when you sit on the toilet, you squat when you are sitting on the chair. So you kind of know this movement, but it's important to kind of do it well. And to do this well, you need to first of all push your hips back and then drop down. So you're thinking about dropping in between your heels. Try to maintain straight back and imagine to keep those knees pushed outside. And that's me doing this without the bench. Kind of, it should look exactly the same. Now have a look how the setup for the squat should look like. So you see me shoulder width apart, feet shoulder width apart. I'm nice and tall. I'm keeping my chest up and I'm pushing my hips back first, and then I'm just dropping down into the squat position. There we go. And then once I'm there we go. So I'm at the bottom position. You see that my feet are kind of shoulder width apart. My knees are pushed out. They definitely not collapsing. And you cannot see here, but I'm maintaining a flat back. And this is the quick idea how far feet you should be. As you see, I'm shoulder width apart here and my toes are pointing outside a bit. You need to find your position. You can be parallel, you can be outside. Just don't try to get your toes inside, because it won't make your squat any better. And lastly, this is how you fix common mistakes. So we already mentioned a couple of things, but using the stick like this or a pipe works really well. You are placing the stick at the back, so you are touching the back of your head in between your shoulder blades, and it goes in between your crack, and then you're squatting with the stick there, and you are trying to maintain the contact throughout the movement. So you want to get the stick sitting there and touching in 3 points. If you've noticed that to maintain the position of the stick you have to bend it, or worse, and I'll show you this in a few seconds, or worse, if you see that if you notice that the stick does this, that's not good idea. Obviously I'm going a little bit over the board here, but I hope you see what I'm trying to show you here. Try to fix it and maintain 3 contact points. So that's how you do how you're fixing the back with the stick. And now, if you notice that you need to move on your toes and you're feeling a lot of pressure on your toes when you're squatting, you can, as I mentioned before, you can put something under your heels, and you can see me here standing on the small wedges. They allow me to lift my heels, and then this creates more mobility in my ankles. I can get more ankle mobility here, and this allows me for much better squat, because my toes are far beyond the knees, so the knees going forward, and my squat is brilliant. So if you got the problem with the squat, lifting your heels works quite well. There we go. So it's a really nice squat here. I'm maintaining my flat back. It feels very natural and very good. I would love to have a squat like this. And here you can see the example of me doing the same without the heels up. So basically my squat is much lower, and notice that I'm leaning forward much more. So if you want to have a good squat, you need to be able to push those knees forward, and then it's about this angle here. The bigger the angle, the smaller the angle is, the better squat is. So if you're struggling with the squat, the good idea is to work on the ankle mobility, and you can see how this standing on the top of my heels, putting on the top, allows me to reach further with my knees and getting my squat in much better position. Okay, so this is it. Those were 4 common mistakes when squatting, and I gave you also tips how to fix them. If you want more videos like this, please subscribe, and see you next time.